And a very good afternoon to one and all. As we welcome you here to Gilbert Park in central Trinidad, in the Couva area to be exact, inside the Point Lisas Industrial Estate, as we come to one of our what we call our traditional venues here in TNT, as we get ready for a delayed start to this uh, Cricket West Indies Rising Stars Women's Under 19 opener between Guyana and the Windward Islands. As you could see, the umpires are making their way out, Colin Bryan and Nikki Daniel. And of course, the news here is that the Windward Islands have won the toss and have decided to field first. And I think that would have been the, how should I say, the standard decision for any team at this point in time, as they try to put themselves in a position possibly to win this game as quickly as possible. So we have 13 overs aside, and of course some of the notes, as I say good evening to Kadir, and Kadir, the word here is that bowlers are limited. 3 bowlers can bowl 3 overs, 2 well, a maximum of 3, and any 2 overs can bowl. I suppose if you need to, you could bowl 1 or any number, but you cannot bowl more than 3 under these circumstances. Originally, it was a 30-over game, but now it's been reduced to 13 overs a team. And but I must say, kudos to the ground staff, because at one point it looked like we weren't going to get anywhere near to what we have now.
Yeah, very good evening, viewers. Good evening, Ruskin. Yeah, definitely. 3 hours ago, we would not have thought that we'd have a game, but credit to the ground staff. They've done an excellent job in mopping up the conditions here at the Gilbert Park. So we have the openers for Guyana. It's the captain, Rielana Grimon, and partnering her is Bakoy.
Bakoye.
Bakoye.
Yeah. And Naomi Bakoye.
Yeah, Naomi Bakoye. So they'll be opening here for the Guyana team, and picking up the attack for the Windward Islands. Looks to be
Of course, this is a game where a result could really set you up nicely for the rest of the tournament. Selena Ross is who is going to pick up the attack from the top end. Still, we have some members of the ground staff just doing a final bit of mopping up. There was a lot of water settled in that particular area, and they've been using the sponges to good effect. I must admit that we had bucketful of water coming out from that same sponge, and they're continuing to try to sap up as much of the water there as possible. But again, kudos to the ground staff. They've really done a remarkable job in getting us to this point, and we're just hoping that these young ladies who would have traveled to Trinidad and Tobago all excited, and will finally get a chance to play some cricket.
Yeah, game reduced to 13 overs per team. Just about getting ready for the first ball of this opening contest. Selena Ross it is. Left arm seamer. Starts with a good delivery. Bakoye looking to get back and tug it into the onside. No run. Rielana Grimon, one of the more experienced among the young bunch. Of course, she would have experience playing for the West Indies in the 19s previously. Ross again with another good delivery.
Again, the pace or the lack thereof, and we don't expect to have a tear away fast bowler at this point, but certainly the line has been pretty good so far from Selena Ross, and it forces Bakoye to have to just play it on merit. Even then, she can't get it away because the field is well set. Also, so to her credit, she is uh, doing a pretty good job of keeping her quiet early on. Remember, it's only 13 overs, so they're really counting down quickly.
No run yet on the board. Ross again is on a good length. And Bakoye just getting accustomed to what's happening out there. Can't get a run just yet. Naomi Bakoye.
Just to be careful though. Those are deliveries that she could, deflect, especially on the onside, and try to just get off strike. But again, she's using the full face of the bat most times. But I suppose she just wants to give herself a little chance to, as we say, a sighter here, just to try to see the ball onto the bat before trying anything too extravagant.
Yeah, credit to Ross. She's been on the money in this very first over. This one is a fuller delivery.
A wide.
Signaled wide by the umpire.
And again, the conditions are, it's overcast. It's windy as well, and so it's as a bowler, you're relishing these conditions.
Another short delivery.
Another wide.
Another wide delivery. Just losing the script a bit here, right at the end of first over. Back-to-back wide deliveries.
And that's why, Kadiri, we have competitions like these, so that these young ladies can go through this process, of understanding, they will make mistakes, but it also gives them an opportunity to correct those mistakes, and they see it after a while. It's the end of the first over, a pretty good one at the end of it, though. Only two runs coming off of it, and both of them were extras, 2 wides.
Yeah, pretty decent first over from Selena Ross, done and dusted. There's 2 wides coming from that over. She's definitely give the Windward Islands a good start. Of course, conditions suiting the bowling team. Early morning rains, overcast conditions, a lot of breeze around in the air as well.
Again, you can't help but marvel at the fact that we're able to have cricket at this point, and we haven't had like any kind of brilliant sunshine or anything like that, at least not just yet. So it just tells you, one, the state of the ground, and two, the kind of work that went into getting it ready at this point. Plus the fact that there was a damp spot on the wicket, just short of a good length at this day southern end, but that seemed to have disappeared. As we have a new bowler coming into the attack, where just quickly there trying her bit here. That looks like Francois, Delisha Francois. But immediately she is online, maybe just drifting into the pads.
Delisha Francois making a debut at the under 19 level. This one is down the leg side, and outfielders are a bit heavy, but not getting to the boundary. Complete 2 Grimmond.
2 wides. Again, just drifting down that left side. But again, you could just see I suppose there's probably a little bit of nerves to it, because some of the athletes are, as you say, a couple of them are on debut, but it's a big occasion for them, and you can never lose sight of that sometimes. And she's still having problems lining it up properly, causing no end of worry for wicketkeeper Fontaine. So yet another wide signal by the umpire.
No runs off the bat just yet.
Mm.
7 without loss. All wide deliveries.
Again, she's just drifting the ball into the pads, not able to control it. And you could see she's a little bit worried. And I want to believe this is just the nerves acting up here. You know, she's over the wicket, so I think she probably is most comfortable bowling from over the wicket, but she just hasn't been able to line up the deliveries. The length is good, the line is what is bad so far.
There's a pretty strong offside set field.
And this time she is asking a question, and not out, says the umpire. So again, pretty much right, she's been attacking those pads all the time, and just going down leg. But again, the length is pretty good. It's just the line that she has to work on or continue to work on.
Yeah, as you mentioned, a bit of nerves getting the better of Francois just at the start.
Again, fuller length this time. Just trying her best to keep the batsman as honest as possible. And but you could see her action is getting better. She has that little hop and skip at the crease in the delivery stride. And but she gets pretty much side on, and then is able to just bring the arm through. And she is again, her length is still pretty good, and I suppose that's something that she could work with from there.
Yeah.
And once she gets the line right is where she could create a little more problems for the batsman, but playing a full face at the bat.
Full toss that Grimond is looking to drive but can't beat mid-on. Again, no run. The field is a backward point.
Actually, it's Bakoye who's on strike now.
Cover point, extra cover, mid-off, mid-on, mid-wicket, square leg. Again, this one is lined on the pad, so to speak. No run. Brings to the end, second over. At the end of it, 8 without loss.
And again, a good over, apart from the fact that she had a couple of wides in there, which was scored off of. But once she was able to make the adjustment in terms of her line, you found that the batsman had no options, no real scoring options, all the way. We had a full toss in there that she couldn't take advantage of. And then the on drive, which is probably the most difficult shot to play. She played it well, but she couldn't pierce the field because there's a mid-on and a straightish mid-wicket precisely for that. So they've done their homework, and they worked out a plan, and they stick into that. Here's Ross again. And this time it's another appeal. Ross is going across the line there, but living dangerously. It didn't get up. That's the first thing that did her in. She was right across it, and whether it pitched in line or just outside, that might have what saved her there. Umpire Daniel says not out.
A real hoik to the onside from Grimond. Doesn't make contact. This time she's pulling away. Doesn't get all of it. She's gonna get a single. Bakoye wants 2, I think. A better decision was made.
Not there because Glasgow closed down the gap quickly. The captain for the Windward Islands. She's probably the most experienced player out there today.
Yeah.
Yeah, good all-round cricketer.
Another one of those who came through the West Indies under-19 setup.
And again, a little bit on the short side, but not able to take advantage of it this time, Bakoye.
Ross, though, she is wicket to wicket. I think, though, if she can pitch it up, cause a bit more problems for Bakoye and Grimond. Again, this one is turned away. Easy single.
And I think they would live with that if they're just conceding singles and not, any boundaries. We haven't had a boundary just yet, but they're keeping most of the scoring, inside the circle. They're not allowing them to get the balls into the gaps or anywhere close to the boundary other than that one leg by down the leg side earlier. Fuller delivery on this occasion, but you could see the bat probably coming at an angle, and as a result she misses the entire ball there. The captain, Grimond. So both batsmen just on one.
The first runs coming off the bat in this particular over.
That's an even better delivery just outside the off stump. For some reason they didn't seem to prepared to take the run, and luckily there, because Bakoye was, as they say, sleeping on a bat. The ball had gone past Fontaine behind the stumps, and there was ample time for a comfortable single, and for whatever reason they were not able to at least spot that early on, but eventually they did, and they were able to get a bye. So 11 now without loss after 3. And like I said, this is all part of what this whole experience is going to be like for these cricketers, because it's really an opportunity for them to learn and grow as quickly as possible. And just as we were talking about the captain, she comes into the attack now. Glasgow, Janelia Glasgow. As I say, very good evening now to Anil Lakan. And Anil, I was making the point to Kadir, I'm so happy they get a chance to play, because I think they would have, got up this morning all excited about getting in some cricket. So eventually they get some. They won't get the full 30 overs, but they're getting some cricket in.
Well, I tell you what, Ruskin, compliments to the ground staff. They've worked really hard indeed in order for us to have a contest here this afternoon here at Gilbert Park.
So Janelia Glasgow is ready to go. That's pulled away nicely. That's played into the gap now, quickly. So it's captain against captain here. And it won't get to the boundary. You see the ball stopped just on that little, just before it sloped down. And the batsmen are able to complete 2. Good shot.
Yeah, Glasgow going short of a length there. Backward was very quick indeed into position and played a really sumptuous pull shot into the mid-wicket region.
She's Grimond, who's on strike. She's there again. Not a short ball, and she's pulling again. This could be interesting. And the return, she took aim and fired, but it was way high, and not able to get it on target there. And that looked like Francois was the one doing the fielding at that short mid-on position there. This time coming right through under 5 Bakoye. Very tall, powerfully built.
Yeah. Just leading on that delivery there, Backwood, playing it handsomely out to extra cover, but unfortunately she would not get a run.
And a little bit of turn there, and the ball again keeping low, and not able to get it through. In fact, this is Francois here at mid-off, or at that short extra cover position, I should say. That's a good delivery. A lot of bonks on that occasion. It just went over the blade of the bat, and I don't think Bakoye really knew much about that one. That had a little bit of zip on it also.
Yeah, Grimond just putting a bit of pace on that delivery there.
Glasgow again pitching up. This time is driven, but again can't get it through. as it goes bouncing down to mid-off, and there is no run. End of the over, 4 completed. It's 14 without loss.
So Guyana being inserted here to bat at the Gilbert Park Recreation Ground. Not the best conditions, I must admit, but compliments to the ground staff. They've made what seems impossible this morning into a game of 13 overs affair between the Windward Islands and the Guyana team. But having looked at the initial 4 overs, Ruskin, I must admit that this Windward Islands team, they look very, very organized indeed. Their fielding has been extremely impressive during the early exchanges.
So Nisha Cherry is going to pick up the attack from the top end. And swinging right across it. There's a loud appeal. Not out, says the umpire. She was going right across it on that occasion, Grimmon.
So Skipper Grimmon trying to get on with things here. The outfield, very heavy indeed. There have been some extensive showers during the early course of today's.
A little adjustment in the field now. We see Francois being brought to square leg, short square leg. And again, treating it with respect. So they haven't really had much to hit right now.
If anything, Ruskin, what I've recognized is that the pitch is, a bit two-piece.
Again, trying to force the issue there, but still not getting it through. The field is well set. Almost everybody is back on the 25 meter marker. So they're not too close in. In fact, everybody seems to be closing in other than the wicketkeeper. There's another delivery. Keeping a little bit low, and they will get the single this time. She was attacking the ball, and but she didn't accommodate the little bunks, and missed out in the end. So a single.
Short and wide. Grimmon goes onto the back foot, plays a sumptuous back foot punch.
You can tell she does have a little experience and knows what she wants to do, Grimmon. Another short ball, and this time they're going to get another single.
So she did get a tickle there.
Yeah, no signal from the umpire, so she did get it a short fine leg. And I think they'll take it because they need to keep the scoreboard ticking over as much as possible.
Well, at this stage it's very difficult indeed, Ruskin, to determine what a pass score would be, at this stage. So one just have to, look on and see how the pitch, settles down during the early stages of this encounter.
Well, Grimmond is back on strike now. And that is bowled up right through. Again, a delivery of pitch right up, and she hit right across it. And I think that's where her downfall came. She didn't go with the straight bat. She somehow tried to play through the onside, missed it, and got bowled.
So excellent delivery there from Cherry. A full pitch delivery there. Bakoi trying to go over that mid-wicket region.
Actually, that's Grimmond who got bowled. Yep.
My apology, Grimmond. Skipper Grimmond. Looking to play that slog sweep. Not getting any connection whatsoever. Missing the ball completely. And it knocks back the off stick.
Tilia Madaramutu is the new batswoman.
So Tilia Madra Mutu. Tilia Madra Matu. Mutu. Madra Mutu is the new batter.
So 16-1 after 5. And that's a good looking shot, but again, to She's not going to get anything from it because the field is so well set. As we have Glasgow continuing. That's another good delivery. Just beating her outside the off stump. Just a little bit lazy with that forward. Well, I don't think she really wanted to forcefully drive the ball. She was just playing at it.
Yeah, and you could see that Bakoi just possibly pushing a bit too early there, Ruskin. Just needs to possibly give herself a split second there, get back and across and try and access whatever spaces on the offside.
That's a good shot. That's in the gap, but again, it's easily tracked down, and the return a little bit too strong coming there from Maslin, but nicely backed up in the outfield. So just the one run. And once more, Bakoye is on to 3 now, Naomi Bakoye. And that will bring Madara Mutu on the strike now. And once again, Captain Glasgow keeping it pretty much on the wicket.
Yeah, Glasgow just maintaining that line, that length, just about that 4-meter length there. This one is played off the back foot.
Yeah, well played again, but Marcelin is right there to tidy up. The end of another very tidy over from Glasgow, and at the end of it, it's 17 for 1 now after 6.
So the Windward Islands winning the toss here at Gilbert Park and inserting the Guyanese team. And after over number 6, they are 17 for 1. Their skipper, Grimont, bowled in the previous over. So these batters are still trying to acclimatize themselves in terms of the pitch, trying to get a piece of the pitch.
And that's another sharp turner there, and but they will get an easy single. Philip able to track it down.
So the umpire signaling it's a wide. So based on what we witnessed thus far, Ruskin, there seems to be a lot of moisture on the pitch, and it is assisting the spinners. The ball is actually ripping off the surface. It's starting anywhere around that middle stump, but it's going past a leg stump after pitching.
It is again, it's actually stopping in the wicket, and that is going to create an even greater challenge for the batters, because it's the ball isn't coming on to the bat as much as they would like. She's getting the ball to grip in the wicket, and it's stopping on gripping. Plus it's turning. It is again, there's a loud appeal for an LBW, not out, says the umpire. And but they're asking questions here. Once again, you could see Anisha Cherry just putting the ball in. Her length is probably a little bit off, and the line to some degree, because she's starting it on the wicket. She probably needs to start it just outside the off stump and give it time to turn.
Yeah, possibly just 6 inches outside the line of the off stump, and what could possibly help is the wicketkeeper possibly just indicating to her by the show of the gloves, Ruskin, you know, giving her that guideline that she could use, you know, to pitch the ball just on about that off stump line. But the ball, I just want to come back to the ball that ripped tremendously just recent, Ruskin. It's possible the wet spot, you know, that ball possibly got onto that spot.
And that is more like it here. And you're right, there was a wet spot earlier that they were able to roll in and take some of the moisture out of it, put some dry dirt on it as well and roll that in. And if it hits there, not only is it going to turn, but it might very well, if the wicketkeeper could catch it, it might have been an inside edge. But she didn't seem, Fontaine didn't seem too interested in going after it.
Yeah, so possibly an inside edge there.
So Cherry, she does give the ball a nice little rip, not a long run up. Again, short. and signal as a Y because it's turning and gripping so much.
And it's also possible, Ruskin, that Cherry's possibly just gripping that ball a bit too tight in her fingers, and that's why she's pulling it down.
She goes again, and she can't get it through. They're going to concede another bye, and Philip is called into action once again. So Fontaine having her difficulties there with the spinning ball because of movement behind the stump. She's almost cemented to where she is, and once the ball turns, I think a lack of experience, she's reaching for it with the left hand as opposed to sliding over. Here it is again, the ball turning into the right-hander, and they can't do much with it.
But I do feel for the wicketkeeper Ruskin because of the fact that the ball is spinning so much, so her lateral movement has to be spot on in order to negotiate.
And that's good take by her there, appealing for the stumping, not out, says the umpire. That's because Bakoye's back foot was firmly planted behind the line. But good glove work on her part.
And even the best of wicketkeepers sometimes on these surfaces, it tends to be very challenging indeed.
It would be a challenge on a wicket that is stopping like this. Is a challenge for the batsmen and women. That's a much better ball. That one turned inside. There's a loud appeal. Not out, says the umpire. Probably turning too much on that occasion. But at the end of another good over from Cherry. And she has 1 for 7 from her 2 overs. It's 7 completed. It's 22 for 1.
So Guyana struggling a bit here after 8 overs, 7 overs, my apology, 22 for 1. And at this stage here in our scale, we just passed the halfway stage in this innings. And Bakoy, she would definitely need to possibly press the accelerator at some stage because she's been there from the inception of the innings. And if there's anyone who's gotten that piece of the pitch, would be Bakoy. But they need to have a move on sometime soon.
Well, we have another bowling change. Bini Saint Jean is on.
So Abini Saint Jean.
Another one of those youngsters who would have been on the national under 19 team prior on the West Indies setup.
So
first delivery is a wide delivery outside that off stump. Maybe bowling her leg breaks and starting too far outside the leg stump. And that one is hit in the air, into the gap as well. And it's a long chase. But they will come back for 2 runs comfortably. And a long chase there for Edwards. But she tracked it down quickly.
Abini just giving that ball some generous flight there. But Chilia lofting that ball over the bowler's head and coming back very quick indeed for 2 runs.
Maduramoto again in behind this one and just playing it under her eyes, which is a good sign. She isn't reaching for the ball. She's allowing it to turn and then trying to play it from the crease.
But very exciting indeed, Ruskin, to see the young ladies attempting this very difficult art of leg spin bowling.
Hit in the air again and just over the head of the Edwards there at mid-off. And again, they're going to come back for 2 runs. So they've decided that they're going to put her out on the boundary. She's the only one out in the deep. Everybody else is inside the circle.
So that ball was lofted just over the mid-off fielder, but she's now tracked back to the long-off position.
So they're going to bring her 3/4 of the way in. And they're daring Madaramoto to repeat that shot now. And this time she's more watchful. Although the ball left the bat at an awkward angle and a difficult height, she didn't really apply any power to it.
Well, at this stage, she was just struggling to get to the pitch of the delivery and just decided to tap it out to that cover position. So recognizing that she wasn't to the pitch.
And again, just the turning ball. That's going to be the challenge for the Guyanese batters, because they were just waiting for the ball to turn as opposed to trying to attack it before it turns or accommodate the turn. But then again, if you're not quite sure how it's going to turn, then you're better off just playing it off the pitch. Attempted cut there on that occasion, but nothing doing, going right through. Much better delivery in the end there, just outside the off stump from the bowler. The end of Beanie St. John's first over, and at the end of it, it's now 27 for 1. 8 completed. So 5 runs coming off of that last over as Kadir is back with us, and things are beginning to happen now. The bowlers are getting some turn, a little purchase off the wicket, a little grip as well.
Yeah, there is something in pitch for the slower bowlers. Cherry is getting the ball to turn quite prodigiously.
And it looks like Gilbert is going to pick up the attack now.
Another slow bowling option. Amaya Gilbert it is. But definitely Naomi Bakoye needs to get a move on. 3 from 21 deliveries. Been there from the start. Remember, just 13 overs per team. We're into the 9th over.
Yep, and that was generous flight there from Gilbert. In fact, she really threw that one up into the heavens. But Bakoye was watchful. Let's see if she stays watchful.
Again, this was
nice flight. This could be interesting if she picks it up, and the return is a little bit too late. But again, she attacked the ball at that mid-on position, St. Jean, but just not able to release it on time.
yeah, quick single taken. 28 for 1. The 2 deep fielders, long on and long off.
Both of them 3/4 of the way back. They're not right back on the fence at the moment and at the ropes. This time she's trying to pull it through the onside. Should have had a single there, but again, the ball not really traveling very far off the square. And a simple pickup for Philip, who's at that short fine leg position. So 13 overs maximum. We're already in the midway through the 9th. 28 on the board. Still not able. He has another stifled appeal, but not out, says the umpire. Umpire Daniel not interested.
Yeah, Madremutu just stuck on the crease. I think though, yeah, she can't push that one to long off. She can't get to the pitch. This time she's pulling away.
Yep, but she still can't get it through that in a ring. And so the field is well set. The bowlers have been able to keep the pressure on because of the way the field has been set.
A really balanced field throughout. This one is up in the air and over the head of Francois.
Yep. But they only got a single, and although the ball went over the fielder's head. So it's the end of the over. 29 for 1 now, 9 completed. So just 2 runs, but again, they haven't really lost another wicket since the 5th over. So these two have been there for a while, but they haven't really been able to really kick on as much as one would have anticipated, especially with overs running out on them.
Yeah, 29 for 1, still 9 wickets in the shed. I think though, from here, Ruskin, what would you think the Guyanese would be looking to post as a
4 overs remaining? You probably would want to score 5 and over at least. So you give yourself another 20 additional runs here. If you could get anywhere up to 55, 50, maybe even 60 if you can. I think you'll be happy with that. But it's difficult.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's why it's difficult, because this bowler is, she knows what she's doing, and leg spin is so new especially at this age group level.
Yeah. I think she's shown to have control over what she's doing, St. John.
Well, just as you say that, she goes wide, down the leg side.
Yeah, it's going to have to reload that one, Abini St. John.
What I like is her length is pretty good, and the ball comes out of her arm with a rip on it. You could see the ball doing something when it leaves her arm.
She has a nice action as well. Flowing action.
They could have gotten a single there, but again, not able to capitalize on a misfield by Marcelin.
I think we've not seen any batter attempt a quick single. Of course, waiting for balls to hit the gaps.
That's
So
a
it's
good
driven
shot.
nicely. Again, just a single. Protection back there.
And but that's a shot that you could see Madara Mutu play very well. She tends to hit the ball straight. She has a nice, lovely flow when she strikes the ball well. The problem is that the field is so heavy that she's not getting a value for her shots right now. I must remind you, the weather has held up quite nicely. Down the wicket she comes, really using her feet well there, Bakoya, but not able to really get it off the square. So this is an interesting battle, because she seems prepared to want to get after St. Jean.
I think Bakoye needs to take the initiative here. Again, another dot delivery.
A little bit of bounce there as well, a little bit of turn. And so she's done well. I really think she's an amazing talent right now. Once she could get the control, and we all know leg spinners, it's a challenge for them with control. She has a really short one, and but she got away with it, as a lot of leg spinners do sometimes, because while it's short, it also turned, and that is the deciding factor there. So 10 overs completed now. It's 32 now for one.
St. John completing her second over, none for 7. Naomi Bakoye 5 from 26. Talia Madramutu 6 from 22 deliveries. Again, just 3 overs remaining in this innings. But again, Ruskin must commend the ground staff for their tireless work.
Yep. And the weather has cooperated as well. Even though we don't have brilliant sunshine back with us, the rain has stopped and it stayed away since we had a start. I think that was the big concern, whether it would rain again, but it hasn't so far. There's another big shot, another slow turner outside the off stump there from Gilbert. And Madaramoto not able to catch up with it. And here's another short ball. It just missed the stump. And I think that is what Fontaine was. She almost didn't put the glove on it because she thought it was going to hit the stump. It seemed to jump over the stump.
Really tight one there from Madaramutu. Luckily, didn't go back onto stumps. Again, can't be that well set offside field. It's a backward point, a point. Extra cover, a cover, long off, long on, mid wicket, square leg, a short fine leg.
Down the wicket she goes, and they're appealing for a stumping, but she did get that foot back in time. That's great work on the part there of Talia Madaramutu. She went down the wicket, but then she was able to just get back in time.
Another well-flighted delivery. And again, good glove work from Fontaine had the bails off in a flash. But credit to Madramutu just sliding that back foot back inside.
Colin Bryan at square leg, right on spot. This time she's going for the big one, and again they're asking a question of umpire Nikki Daniel, but again she says not out.
Yeah, Gilbert again, wicket to wicket. Madramutu not making contact.
A little bit of height as well. The ball is bouncing, and it's because she's throwing it up in the air really high sometimes. Here she goes again, and this time the bails are off, but once again she's able to get the foot back just in the nick of time, and she survives. It's the end of another over. 11 gone. It's 32 for 1.
We made Nova again there from Gilbert. Very, very good over. Context of this game.
You realize that they haven't scored a run off a bowling as yet.
Yeah. Amaya Gilbert. Very, very good stuff from her. Just 2 overs remaining. 32 for 1. I think though if the Guyanese could get up to just about 50, they'd be happy with that from here.
But it looks difficult, and the reason why it looks difficult is because of the spinning ball. I'm not quite sure they fully understand how to counter the spin. And so we see again Cherry is going to continue. Nisha Cherry. And even though that was a short ball, again she couldn't get it through. The skipper is in the way, Glasgow.
Bakwe has nothing to lose at this stage.
And this time they're going to get a single. It just bounces off the glove of Fontaine. And did she get a touch? It might be that she got a touch on it.
Yeah, no signal
Yep.
from umpire
So
Brian.
so she gets a run. And maybe that tickle just took it away from the glove of the wicketkeeper.
33 for 1. Another shortage delivery, and Madramutu can't get it past Glasgow. Janelia Glasgow really marshalling her troops well.
That's a much quicker delivery, and that is like one of her really go-to deliveries, because when she bowls it, I don't think the batsmen are able to catch up with it at all. They're playing way after the ball, long after the ball has passed.
Yeah, she's mixing up her pace well. And Cherry, really quicker delivery.
She has a nice tall action, so when she releases it,
This time it's shorter, it's
pulled
pulled away.
Yep, that
No
could
one
be
back
4
there.
runs. That could be the first boundary. Actually, no, it's going to stop, and they're going to run a third one on the throw, and they're going to get it too. So it took them a while to release that ball from out in the deep, but the batsmen they continued running and were able to complete 3 runs off the final ball of what was a pretty good over prior to that, until it was too short. 36 now for 1 at the end of it.
Yeah, 36 for 1 after 12. Just 1 over to come. Remember, Windward Islands winning the toss and choosing to bowl first. And they've done an excellent job in restricting Guyana and the 19 ladies to just 36 so far. Sure they'd be happy with that. Janelia Glasgow to bowl the final over.
Cherry ended up with 1 for 11 from her 3 overs. So she's one of the bowlers to complete 3 overs. Glasgow is probably going to also complete her 3.
Yeah.
And that's, well, a lot happened there. The ball was a full toss, hit firmly back to the bowler. She just put her hand out, couldn't hold on to it, but it crashed into the stump. Guess what? The bat spurs, the non-striker's end, luckily, was standing in her crease. She could so easily have been run out at that point. But she survives.
Yeah, so many times we've seen Batsman just wandering out of the non-striker's end.
That's a good, a late dab, so to speak, a bit of an under edge. But they're only going to get the 1 run from it. Ross able to track it down. So 1 more to the score. That brings Abakoye back on strike. She's on 6.
Needs to-
Madra Mutu is on 10.
We've not seen a boundary so far. Might be a good time to
It's
get one.
bowled up, not done that delivery right up. It was right under the bat. And a wicket for the skipper. That's wicket number 2 now. It's 37 for 2.
Yeah, Janila Glasgow with a full delivery. Quicker delivery, it seemed to be. And Bakoye playing all over that one. And she loses her off stump. She goes for 6. Guyana at 37 for 2.
So again, a crucial wicket here. She was having her difficulties getting the ball away, and but Sarah Amin is the new batsman. With no time, she has to go.
Yeah, definitely. No secrets in that. What a time it would be now to find the boundary for Sarah Amin.
They need something here just to give them a little boost at the end. And that one was hit. Another full toss, but again not able to take advantage. But she's immediately off the mark, which is a good sign for her.
Yeah, and I think the right batter is on strike, Madramutu.
But again, look at how quick that delivery is, and that is the experience coming through here. She's not going to just throw it up in the air right now. She's going to keep it on the wicket, keep it quick, get it into the wicket as quickly as possible, and not allow them to get under it. But let's see how she finishes up here. This one is in the air, it goes high in the air, it goes into the gap, but again, it's just going to die and settle there. And they're going to get 2 runs. They might go for this. If they get it up to the non-strikers end, they'll get a run out. And a little bit of comedy of errors there. And they almost conceded an additional run. But I think they settled for the 2 runs in the end. And Madaramutu remains on 12. 12 not out.
Yeah. So
but they end on 40.
Guyana, after their 13 overs, they've got up to 40 for 2. Ruskin just over 3 runs to the over, just a shade over 3 to the over. But excellent bowling from the Windward Islands team, of course. Winning a toss and bowling first. This is the sort of effort that they would have wanted from the bowling group.
Well, they obviously did the smart thing. They won the toss and they decided to field first, which I think would have been a no-brainer. It's the kind of conditions where you would relish the opportunity to bowl first. And they did that. They bowled well. And they had a couple of wides when they first started. In fact, for the first 2 overs, the only runs came by way of extras. And most of them were wides, if not all of them. But since that time, they've been able to tighten up quite a bit. If anything, the conditions, and this is something that we see a lot of in age group cricket for women in particular, where they tend to circle the ball a lot more as opposed to attacking the ball, and that's because of I suppose some of them are new to the game, so they're still learning the nuance of the game a lot of times, and so they've not really been able to, as we say, attack the ball as we would like to see. But I suppose as they grow in the game, as they develop in the sport, they will understand those additional aspects of the game, because it's not just batting and bowling, but it's about fielding, it's about running between the wickets, it's about reading, anticipating where the ball will go when the batsman is making shots. How do you attack the ball, what's the point to intercept the ball. But most of them tend to sort of circle the ball, and sometimes they miss opportunities to run out or run out opportunities. But in the main, what I like is the enthusiasm that they're showing. They didn't make as many runs, but that doesn't seem to be too much of a factor for Guyana. They are now keen to go out there and bowl and do their part with the ball and see what it gives. And to me, that is what this tournament is about. You want to see, because all they could do is learn to love the game more, whatever success they get. The ones who got to bat, nobody was, niggling them about not scoring too quickly. Every run was applauded, and that is what this is all about. Now it's up to them to take that same enthusiasm into the field and put the same kind of pressure on the Windward Islands.
Yeah, definitely.
But they need 41 in their 13 overs. Gettable. Now it's up to the guy now, and this is what we saw the experience from some of we saw it from the captain, Glasgow, how she bowled. We saw Cherry, how she bowled. We even saw Abini St. Jean, that little experience that they have now playing at the under 19 level, and being in those dressing rooms and being on the field with the more senior players, how that came to the fore here. Just the way they approach their bowling, and even the way the captain was able to set the field and plug those gaps and limit scoring options. That is would be a little bit of an eye-opener for some of the Guyanese players. You just hope they're watching from the dressing rooms, and maybe their manager and coaches are pointing out certain things to them. And maybe tonight might be the best time when they sit and they do their post-mortem. They understand areas where they could improve, areas where they could tighten up, whether it's bowling, batting, fielding. And, but like I said, this is all about development. It's all about learning and appreciating, areas where you could improve. Because at this stage, you want to improve every day.
Yeah, and what a better opportunity than the Under 19 Rising Stars tournament.
Well, it's 40 for 2 at the moment. The Windward Islands, they need 41. We'll get to their reply when we come back. Welcome back to Gilbert Park here as we continue our coverage of the Cricket West Indies Rising Stars Women Under 19 Championships for 2023. And this is the opening day of action. Unfortunately, in at the other venues, the weather has not just interrupted play, it has basically abandoned play in those other two matches. But we're happy to say here we stand a good chance of completing 13 overs a side affair. We've had 13 overs completed so far. The Windward Islands, they won the toss, inserted Guyana, and then limited them to 40 for 2 at the end of their 13 overs. So it means now that they will have to make 41 in their replies. Welcome back, Anil Lakan. And Anil, we could say so much about these young ladies, but my thing is this is a start for them. First of all, it's a big occasion for them, and some of them might be a little bit nervous still. They probably have not played away from home before, some of them, so it's new to them. Some of them are probably first time on a national setup, so that too is new to them. So there are a number of factors at play here. They're probably away from home, from their parents, siblings for the first time. A number of things happening, all at once for them. They're in a foreign country. It's so much different to what they're accustomed to, so that you just have to admire them, the kind of enthusiasm that they're showing, and you just hope that they can, execute what the plan is overall.
Yeah, and I do echo that same sentiment as well, Rusking. It's really beautiful indeed for these young ladies, to travel into Trinidad and Tobago, the host nation for this Rising Star Under 19 tournament, to come into foreign conditions, as you would have alluded to earlier, and really get a hang of the conditions, and of course, the opportunity to represent their country, which is it's an extremely big occasion indeed for those who are part of the traveling contingent as well. Even though we all know only 11 could play, but I'm sure during the duration of the tournament, the entire squad will have that. They will have that rotation policy where each and every one will be given an opportunity to showcase their skills. And of course, this is an excellent springboard indeed, Ruskin, for all these young ladies to really take on board in terms of their cricketing development, but also their holistic development as well.
Well, it's that time now for them to try to put things right. It's not going to be perfect, but it's the effort and the ability to adjust as quickly as possible is what is going to be the big difference here. First ball on target to begin with, as we have the opening pair, Ritimaya. Ritimaya is the bowler from that top end.
So Ritimaya bowling from the KFC end here at Gilbert Park. Right arm, a medium pacer. On strike is Marcelin. Nehemiah Marcelin taking strike.
There's a wide delivery outside the off stump, too far outside the off stump. Marcelin just stands up and allows it to go its merry way.
So Ritimaya, a very easy approach to the crease, and she does seems to have that delivery where she could really surprise the batters there. Very easy up to the crease.
That's well played. That's played into the gap more than anything, as they've gone for one, and I think that's all they'll get in this. But she placed the ball well, right between the short backward point and the squarish cover to get off the mark. First run off the bat, 2 without loss.
So Ritimaya serving up a half volley on off stump there, and Marcelin just drilled that ball through that backward point region, and she's able to get a single.
There's another one. This one just hitting the outside edge, it looks like, and they're going to scamper through for a quick single.
So excellent delivery there from Retimaya, getting a little bit a bit of shape there.
Cherry just coming forward and the ball hitting the edge of the bat.
So is it the case here, Ruskin, where the skipper should possibly consider having a slip in the early exchanges of this contest?
Yeah, but we've noticed that both teams, they didn't employ a slip fielder at all. There's another one that is too far outside the off stump to interest Marcelin on this occasion. She just watches it go its merry way.
So we are into over number 1. The target 41 for victory. Windward Islands requiring 41 for victory from 13 overs. They've got out to a good start. 3 without loss in over number 1.
And if she had hit this stump, the wicketkeeper, Liddy, threatened to throw down the stumps, but she failed to release the ball. And Marcelin was way outside her crease there. And had she been able to release the ball and hit the stump, she probably would have had a wicket.
Yeah, Marcelin going for that booming drive outside the line of the off stump, but Retimaya producing a peach of a delivery. It just left the bat, the outside edge at the last moment, and it went into the mitt of the keeper.
This one is a brilliant catch, caught and bowled. Great cricket indeed. And that is the breakthrough that they were hoping for. Marcelin coming onto the front foot, driving, but she hit it straight back to the bowler, who took it just above the laces in a follow through to complete a wonderful caught and bowled. Retimaya getting a wicket.
So Retimaya producing a excellent delivery there. Marcelin trying to hit that ball on the up, only succeeded in hitting it straight back to Retimaya, who took an excellent catch there. So great, athleticism from Retimaya there, moving smartly to her left, and
took it in both hands.
And wicket number 1 goes down for the Windward Islands. But it's going to be Janelia Glasgow that strikes out to the middle.
The captain trying to maybe calm nerves and help a team go. She is the premier all-rounder in the team.
Yeah, Janelia Glasgow would have played at this level before, so she does have some experience playing at this level, and the Windward Islands, they would need all of that experience, for her and the other members of the team to take them over the line. But it's going to be
Naya Lachman.
Naya Lachman, from all indicators, she seems to be bowling some right arm leg spin. Extended run of leg spinner, may I say.
She got away with that one there. That was a nice little gift there for her to pull it through the onside. She did hit it, but she hit it into her pads. So Nisha Cherry there, who bowled well. And that's a delivery wide outside the off stump, but you could see her reaching for it. Surprised the umpire didn't call it a wide, but maybe he didn't turn as much, but she certainly was reaching to try to get to it.
And possibly just indicating to the umpire how wide it was.
Yeah, she's into her wicket and again doing well, and that's a tough return right down to the ankles, and Lachman did well to stop it. But you could just see the enthusiasm there. That's the wicket taker there, Retimaya, doing the fielding at that short square leg position.
And she does seem to be a supreme athlete indeed, Ruskin, is Retimaya. She just seems to be covering the space so quickly on the field.
So the left-handed Glasgow, she bowls right-handed but bats left-handed.
So Naya Lachman bowling with a third man, a backward point, cover, extra cover, mid-off. This is a nicely flighted delivery.
But again, you could just see the difference. Look at how comfortably she was able to come on to the front foot to try to get to the. I'm surprised she didn't hit it harder, but at least she was probably just trying to make contact first before she probably goes into an expansive drive. But she did cover the ball well. Again, just coming on to that front foot looks so much at ease doing so. But that's a good over to complete the second one, 4 for 1.
So Junior Glasgow, giving us all the assurance that she's a very well organized player indeed. Just easy going to the front foot there. That leg spinner just coming into her, she just extended and played it out to that extra cover position. So Glasgow showing some really good signs here, having a lot of time to play the ball.
So Retimaya is going to continue bowling from the top end. A little bit of sunshine, trying to fight its way out here. Still nice cool conditions for these young ladies. And driving outside the off stump, not out, says the umpire. And well taken by the wicketkeeper, Lindy.
Yeah, Nisha Cherry trying to get that booming drive, but playing away from her body there, Rusking. It was Nisha Cherry, and it goes past the outside edge.
Has to be careful though. She tends to stay out of her crease or stray out of it sometimes. There's a ball lifting here. The captain has to hurry, and she does. So they will get the single, and that one jumped at her. But in the end, Marceline played it well, or rather, Cherry played it well.
Yeah, Cherry just waited until the last moment, but she was defeated. Just took the edge and went out to that short third man position, and they were able to get a single. So testing times for these Windward Islands batters there. Retimaya bowling some extremely challenging deliveries here. But it's going to be Janelia Glasgow who's going to take strike.
But today's a big day for a number of people in different parts of the world. One would have to say here in Trinidad and Tobago, CARICOM celebrates 50 years. And there's another good shot into the gap, and she got an easy single. Once again, not trying to overhit it. But apart from CARICOM 50th, we also have 4th of July in the United States, their independence. So this is a big day for them and a big day for these young ladies as they get to play.
It's an extremely big day for all these young ladies involved here. The other two games has been washed out, and compliments to the groundsmen here, making what seems impossible at the start possible. But it's great to see these young ladies on the park here, Ruskin.
Well, that's what they're here for, and they're showing their talents. Again, a ball delivery just touching down and beating that outside edge, not for the first time. She's getting that away movement.
See, she's getting that ball. Retimaya is getting that ball just to shape away at the last moment. Nisha Cherry trying to negotiate, but it goes past the outside edge.
35 from 68, 62 balls. Yes, she's trying to hit across the line, and it's bowled. The neck and crop. Wicket number 2 goes to Retimaya. As again, Nisha Cherry trying to go across the line, misses and pays the ultimate prize. She goes for 3.
So Retimaya getting into the wickets column again here, getting her second wicket here for the Guyana team. That ball was not. It didn't have the length, for her to go onto the back foot to possibly just misread. It was a bit fuller than she expected, and it was through her. So Nisha Cherry goes, wicket number 2 goes.
And Anisha Fontaine is the new batter.
So Guyana really putting up a fight here. We are into over number 3. Windward Islands chasing a 41 for victory. They are 6 for 2, with Anisha Fontaine just walking out to the middle. But skipper Janelia Glasgow, she is still out there fighting for her team.
But this young lady is showing that she knows what she's doing with the ball. And it's up to the batters, the opposing batters, to keep her out. Here she's again, a little bit of away movement and just touching down, seaming away to bring the over 2 and end 2 overs completed 6 for 2.
Anisha Fontaine just trying to nibble that ball down to third man. And it's a shot that I am not a fan of, I must tell you, Ruskin.
Well, actually, she's 5 for 2. She's 2 wickets for 5 runs. It's 6 for 2 at the end of 3 overs. So she has been really the dominant figure in this game so far. And I think the batters, they have to understand the movement. I think they're playing the original line, which is good. You cover the original line, and but you also adjust for the away movement. But right now she has the upper hand on them. Lachman is going to continue. And that one is driven nicely into the cover region, but I don't think they'll get the second run. They have to hurry, and she misses it. Well, and there eventually she's out, run out. Well. Brilliant work on the backup there, picking it up and firing it away. Madara Moto can't keep her out of the game. A direct hit on her part, and that is wicket number 2. Fontaine goes without scoring.
Yeah, so
she might have hurt herself as well.
Yeah, she just seems to be in a spot of bother there, the physio.
Strap. I think the strap burst on the pads, and that seemed to have really hindered her running.
But having looked at what transpired, Ruskin, there was absolutely, there's absolutely no reason to be going back for that second run. From the moment that ball was in the hand of the fielder, they were just about crossing, touching down at each other's end. So I felt that was definitely, 2 runs was never an offer there. But Guyana, fighting for all their might here, getting 3 wickets in the piece here earlier on. And Fontaine paying the price for some miscommunication.
Yeah, I think they made the call for 2, and they stuck with the call. They never assessed the situation once they touched down. And in fact, if you had to place blame, you would say the captain really was the one. She probably wanted to get back on strike, Glasgow, and never really catered for the touchdown on the part of Fontaine, because Fontaine certainly touched down a lot later than she did, and she was going to the danger end.
But one must also take into consideration as well, Ruskin. When they were running, her back was turned. The striker back was turned when she was when she was.
Fontaine never saw where the ball was. So she just got the call and she just responded to the call. But I don't think she ever saw the ball. And in fact, she could have been run out initially from the initial throw.
Yeah, had
the wicketkeeper, the bowler collected it.
Had Lashman collected that ball.
Here they are again, thinking of a single, a good shot, but. Good fielding as well, despite the little turn of the ball, the spin.
So Nisha Alexander, another left-hander, strides out to the middle. She's taking strike from Naya Lachman, who's bowling right arm a leg spin.
Actually, this is Glasgow batting there, and that one just goes through the gap. Now Nisha Alexander is going to get her chance because there's a bye signaled by the umpire.
So excellent delivery there from Nisha Lachman. That ball spinning from outside the off stump and going between bat and pad. It goes through the gate, and it also defeated the wicketkeeper as well. So there is enough evidence, Ruskin, that ball is really gripping, but compliments to Nisha Lachman. She's landing them consistently. She's
doing a pretty good job so far for a team, and Glasgow is living dangerously there. There's a big swing and a miss, and they will get the bye this time. Lindy having her difficulties with that little bounce, that extra little bounce there. Another bye signaled by the umpire.
So both skipper Janelia Glasgow and Nisha Alexander, they're trying to get a move on here, but Lachman is bowling such a impressive spell. She's not moving from that line or length. So the batters now, they're trying to manufacture whatever they can.
And there's a turn. Again, that didn't want that little turning into the left-hander, almost going through the gap again, totally fooling Glasgow. And luckily for her, she just dropped the bat on time.
Had it been a 4-day contest, there would have been a short leg in position there. That would have just fallen into the lap of the short leg fielder there, Ruskin.
And she's going at this one. There's a loud appeal for an LBW. Not out, says the umpire. And again, just getting home there is Alexander backing up. It's going to be a leg by. And that completes the over. So the end of over number 4. It's 10 for 3. The Windward Islands chasing 41 for a victory.
So the Guyana team making sure that the Windward Islands earn every run indeed. Nisha Lushman really putting the skids on the scoring there, bowling consistently and and you would have thought that with a left-hander on strike, Ruskin, that it would not have been much of a challenge with the ball spinning back into the left-handers. But she's conceded just a meager 2 runs from 2 overs as Naya Luchman. So she's really done a tremendous job for her skipper Grimmon.
Yes, he's certainly helped out there. Now we have a change in the bowling at that top end. Grimmon is coming on, the captain.
So Rilana Grimmon. But it's going to be skipper Janelia Glasgow to take strike.
Skipper against skipper here now.
This one is played stylishly out to extra cover. Janelia Glasgow just coming forward there and easing that ball to extra cover. Nice flowing drive.
She's getting there again. She wants a single, but it's not there. And that's good athletic fielding there from Tia Isaacs.
Kia Isaac doing some tremendous work there at extra cover. That ball was timed beautifully by Janelia Glasgow. Just no run.
Again, good adjustment. Just pulling back the length a little bit there, and but touching down in front of the batsman. Now remember, there was that little damp spot right at that length, just short of a good length. And so if there's any give there at all, it could fool the batsman. Quicker delivery again, but once more, right in the middle of everything there is Retimaya. She won't get him through.
But Janelia Glasgow just seems at this stage, Ruskin, to favor the quicker bowling. She just seems to be at home playing against, and this one is square driven.
This is
could
problems.
be a run out.
Yep.
Oh, my apologies.
The return is just not on target, and but 2 things were wrong. There was a good shot, and there was a possibility of a single, which they eventually got. But the non-striker, the backing up of the non-striker, she was basically sitting on the bat, and so when the captain called, which was what we saw that resulted in the first run out, the backing up was not the best. So it's just those little things that they need to iron out as they go through the tournament.
And I'm sure they will get better and better as the tournament progresses as well.
And that's a big heave there, but not making contact. Alexander really went through everything at that one, missed the ball completely, and the over comes to an end. A good first over at the end of it, 11 for 3 at the end of over number 5.
So the Windward Islands requiring 41 for victory. Remember, it's a 13 over affair. Windward Islands winning the toss earlier today and sending in the Guyana national team. They got to 40 for 2 from 13 overs, and in reply, the Windward Islands are 11 for 3 after over number 5.
And it looks like coming on to bowl now is going to be Amin. Sarah Amin. So they're ringing the changes here. Remember, bowlers, three bowlers can bowl 3 overs, and another 2 can bowl 2 overs each maximum. And this one is hit high. The ball is thrown high in the air, and Amin bowling from around the wicket really threw that one up, as we say, up in jar breeze, and it took its time to get there to Glasgow. And that one is hit away into the gap, but we still won't get a boundary because it just stopped in the field. She wants a second run. She's going to have to hurry. The return is on its way, and she's able to get back in time. And then that is the thing now. Although she intended to get 2 runs, I think she's just turning blindly and running.
Yeah, skipper Glasgow there, Janelia, not looking at the ball when she touches down at the non-striker end. Had it been a more powerful throw, it would have been very, very interesting indeed.
This time she's hitting it, and they're going for a single. It's not there. The return is not in time. And again, now this is where it's all going wrong, because once again, Glasgow, I suppose the talk is she's going to run, when she calls. But the batter, Alexander, was almost 3/4 of the way down. And this time, Glasgow just kind of froze in the wicket.
And again, Ruskin, the skipper is batting at the non-striker end. Once the ball goes behind her back, it's Alexander a call from the non-striker's end. But she's just being caught a ball watching.
And this time they're going to get the single again. They're going to have to hurry. And she's out. She's way out. And another run out there. And certainly they're trying to run on the over-through. And she pays the ultimate price. Alexander has to go run out at this time.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ruskin, I'm not surprised at all that a run out has been affected by the Guyana national team. It was just a matter of time when it's going to happen, because the communication between Alexander and skipper Janelia Glasgow, I must admit, has not been the best during their stay out in the middle. Unfortunately for Alexander, she has to leave the piece, run out without scoring. So the score at this stage,
it's 13 for 4 now.
13 for 4. So the Guyana national ladies team here really making the Windward Islands fight tooth and nail for every run, and they're doing an extremely great job indeed.
So Benny St. Jean is the new batter coming to the crease. But certainly Alexander, there was a lot wrong with that. And once again, because she never sort of dragged the bat. She was holding the bat in both hands, running, hoping to dip it into the crease. And so again, it's just those fundamentals that they will learn as they go along. Well, you hope they will learn as they go along.
Well, I just want to endorse what you're saying as well. I'm sure the coaches will take the opportunity as well, Ruskin.
And here again is a chance possibly of a single, but this time after 2 run-outs. I think Glasgow is probably a little bit gun shy of going for the single. But that completes over number 6. It's 13 for 4.
So the Guyana women's really making a very good competitive game out of the situation here, having scored 40 for 2 in their allocation of 13 overs. They are now restricted the Windward Islands to 13 for 4 in over number 7.
A quick comparison shows that after 6 overs, the Guyanese were 17 for 1.
So 17 for 1, so they're 3 wickets ahead at this stage of the contest. But for the Windward Islands, Janelia Joseph Glasgow, the skipper, she has a huge responsibility to take her team over the line.
She certainly has, and again, she has to find scoring options, and but she also has to be mindful of the running between the wickets.
Starts off with a wide.
It's a good take by the wicketkeeper, moving smartly to her right, take it down the leg side.
So skipper Grimon bowling from the KFC end here at Gilbert Park. And just a loud appeal.
but I'm not sure what they're appealing for, because if anything, she might have played the ball, and but the ball passed her on the full, so it actually hit the wicket before going through to the wicket keeper.
But an excellent, excellent delivery indeed. A peach of a delivery from skipper Grimon.
And that should be a comfortable single. And it seems as if Glasgow has injured herself with the run in between the wickets, because now she just seems as if she is hobbled a little bit.
Yeah, just seems to be struggling a bit there. But it brings Abini St. John on strike. So skipper Grimon doing an excellent job for her team. Bowling at a lively pace, I must admit.
And she's consistent. She has a good action, a very simple action, and she does get a decent amount of rip off the wicket. And that's well played. They go for a quick single, and they will get it too, and they might get more. However, it's nicely backed up. So good cricket all around, and despite the lurking there, Retimaya, who is a danger in the field. She attacked the ball, but it was so well judged in the end that Abini St. John just played it, and she got the call from her skipper on that occasion, and Glasgow was safely through.
So Abini St. John doing the right thing there, Ruskin, just taking the piece of that delivery there, playing it under her eyes, and from the moment that she just took off.
And this is the challenge here, because you could just see almost as if Grimon, she's worked out what it is that Glasgow is trying to do. She's keeping the ball right up to her. That's a great shot, but it's gone through, and they should get two here comfortably. Yes, they do, and they're going to settle, I would imagine, for the two ball tracked down by Isaac.
So Grimon pitching up that ball on a half volley length, and Janelia Glasgow creamed that ball through extra cover, but because of the heavy outfield, she was only able to get a two, but on a hard outfield that had 4 written all over it, Ruskin.
Yes, it was in the gap, and it was placed well. Now she thought that the right-hander was back on strike, but it's still the left-hander, so she's still fielding at long on, and she has to stay at a long on position. Again, it's driven hard, but straight to the fielder, and they can't get the run on this occasion. So it's the end of the over, and at the end of over number 7, 18 now for 4. So this is where things are getting a little bit interesting now. They're striking at just about 2-7, but because of the proliferation of dot balls in a game like this, 23 of 36 could become a bit of a challenge. But with the experience Glasgow out there, I suppose she would have to really take the lead, as Kadir is back with us, and certainly an interesting battle all the way through.
Yeah, Ruskin. Good evening again, viewers. They say never judge a pitch until two teams bat on it, and I think it's fair to say that the Guyana bowlers have really done an excellent job in defending so far this 40 that they've put on the board.
Yeah, another tall scoring game, and that is a wide signaled by the umpire, just touching down and just holding its own, going further and further away. Sarah Amin. And here's another one just turning, but now she is getting a little bit of turn, and but the bats again, they're thinking of a wide, but I think that ball, she just picked up the bat and allowed the ball to go through. She could hit it. It bounced a second time, and I think that is what the batter was complaining about, and so it's going to be a free hit. So it's a no ball plus a free hit as well.
Yeah, so a chance here for St. John to free the arms a bit
And she does, but she's only going to get the single from it. So it worked out well for them because, more importantly, now they get the skipper back on strike.
Yeah, Janelia Glasgow really holding the key for Windward Islands at this stage. She is 8 of 23 deliveries. I think though she just needs someone to stay with her. Beanie St. John quite experienced at this level. So I mean, changing the angle, more wrong the wicket this time.
Hit into the gap. She hit it well, but she goes for one, and she wants a second one, but it's not there. And now she wants it again, and I think in a lot of ways she was at the center of the 2 run-outs in the game, and so she has to be a better judge of a second run, because that was not a second run there, because the field is heavy, the outfield is heavy, so the ball isn't running as far away from the fielders as she thinks. And then even with the overthrows, you know, the ball again isn't eluding the fielders that much.
Yeah, credit to the outfielders, they're backing up pretty well.
And again, this is good fielding. Again, the captain, Grimmon, attacking the ball cleanly.
I think we've seen both captains really put up their hands and led their teams well. Rilana Grimmon for Guyana and Janila Glasgow for the Windward Islands.
Again, a chance, and she's out. Run out, is it? Not out, says the umpire, but it was very tight indeed. Where was she going? It was a no ball, and how criminal that would have been to be out, run out off a no ball. And it's another free hit because the ball is bouncing a second time. Now look at it here. Again, she is trying to get back. She just got the bat down in time.
I think she was responding to the call from the non-striker's end, and it seemed to be a yes, no, yes, no. Eventually, she had to turn and putting the dive.
That would have been sacrilegious. Glasgow would have been at the center of 3 runouts. She's already seen 2 of her teammates go via the runout route, so she has to be careful. This is a big hit over the head of the inner ring, but it's like a wedge shot, and it just hits and stops right there like a golf shot, and it just dies there. If you're a golfer, you'd have been looking around for the hole somewhere nearby. Now, if you're a golfer like me, you would have been far from the hole.
Another well-flighted delivery, wide on
the
this
leg
occasion.
side. Yep. And this is where they have to be careful. They don't want to gift too many easy runs to the Windward Islands. They've had them under control pretty much.
You're already 8 in the over.
And this time the ball is pitching and turning. A little bit of turn as well to end the over, but at the end of it, 26 for 4 now after 8.
8 runs coming off the Sarah Amins over. 26 for 4.
And they were 27 for 1 after at the same stage.
Yeah, so neck and neck.
Yep, they're right there. And you look at the conditions, it's overcast. I don't think we have any immediate threat of rain, but I'm trying to picture which building. There's a building behind us somewhere. And is that the Nutrimix building? And Nutrimix pretty much in the news today because of their reduction in their prices. So that is good news for local consumers. And that's always welcome. Now here's the danger lady. She's back on strike, and immediately she produces a brilliant Yorker. Rettemeier.
Yeah, Rettemeier back into the attack. Strike bowler. Sienna Rettemeier.
This is her 3rd over. She has 2 wickets so far.
Yeah, brilliant caught and bowl to get rid of the opening batter.
That's a great shot, and that is going to run through, but they could only get 2. Yes, look, again the field just slows the ball down and allows Amin the opportunity to track it down. But that's a great shot once again there from Glasgow. She goes into double figures now. She's on 11.
Yeah, Janelia Glasgow playing some delightful shots, but just not getting value for them due to a bit of a heavy outfield.
Here she is again on the move, coming forward nicely, treating a good ball with respect. So this is really a game on here as they really trying to push on, trying to get to that 41 as the target. They need 13 runs. They have 27 balls in which to get them. And they won't get it there. It's wide. Well, they get one because it's a wide signal by the umpire. So that brings it down to 12 from 27. And this is where the nuance of the game and the understanding of the game becomes so important for the teams. But as a captain, Grimmond has to be mindful here now of how this game could easily slip away from her if they give away too many extras. And that's another good shot. Might only get a single, but she's doing her part here to guide her team home, Glasgow.
Yeah.
She goes to 12. That's the joint highest score of the innings of the match so far. Because I think 12 was the top score in the first innings. Madaramutu.
12 not out she had at the end. Invaluable 12.
Yeah, they go for another quick single. Very well judged in the end. And again, not much they could do about it. She just blocked it, and an alert captain there, Glasgow, called her through for the single, and St. John responded.
But I think, Ruskin, though, this partnership, the experience that these two have, it's really showing. They're taking on the quick singles, taking on the fielders, and they've batted well so far, really holding together the innings, this fifth wicket partnership.
Yeah, St. John is on 5. 12 it is to Glasgow. She waits now on Retimaya. She completes her third over, and that's another quick single. They're going to have to hurry, and they will. Not much they could do about it. They may get a second, but it didn't seem as if St. John was interested. In fact, she had overrun the wicket, so there wasn't even a possibility of her going back. So that completes the over. 9 completed. It's 32 for 4.
Yeah, now a decision here for skipper Grimmond to make because Lutchman, who's bowled 2 overs, remember, just 2 bowlers allotted 3 overs.
And everybody else, the maximum they can bowl is 2.
Yeah, well, I think Lutchman looks to be coming back into the attack for her third over. Nia Lutchman, 2 overs, just 2 runs coming from it. She started off bowling, opening the bowling for Guyana. She's back here now for a final over. It's 9 required from 24 deliveries.
They have 6 wickets in hand, but more importantly, they have this young lady at the crease, and she's been the real savior for the Windward Islands right now. She bowled well, and she's putting in a good shift with the bat, leading from the front.
Again, Lutchman is starting with a good delivery. She is getting some turn, and she has some good control over leg breaks. Ruskin.
Yep. And she has a nice high action. Very simple, but she has a long run-up by comparison. Even when you consider it, Shane Warne had a long run-up, but he had a long walk before he got into his delivery stride. He tended to walk 5 or 6 pieces, similar to what she does, and then he just kind of wound it up. That's a great shot, and that could get her a single. It will. And a nice bit of fielding. Good cricket all around. A nice flighted delivery and a brilliant shot for a single. 1 by 1, they're inching.
Yeah. Down to just 8 now. But I think Nia Lutchman has really impressed us here this evening. Showing good control over her deliveries.
Was there going to be another twist before it's all said and done? Can we have a little drama in proceedings? It's cricket. What is cricket without drama? Another wicket here would certainly maybe get a few butterflies going in the dressing room. You never could tell. Another nicely flighted delivery, but well played by Sincha. She's not going across it. She's playing it on merit.
Yeah, presenting the full face of the blade.
It just seems as if she wanted to change it here. She just seemed as if she was going to run up a lot quicker this time. But once again, very simple and very much on spot. She's not trying to do too much. In fact, I'm not even sure if they could make out when she's bowling the googly. And they're going to get the single here. Again, simple, not too much, just trying to deflect it and run. So Sinja is doing her part. She's up to 6 now. 14 it is to Glasgow, the top scorer of the game so far. And they're right there knocking on the door. 7 runs from 19 balls. They could get them in singles.
Yeah.
In fact, that has been the order of the day because we've had a few. I don't even think we had a 3-run. If we had one, it probably just once.
Yeah, we had a 3 in
Just
the
a 3.
Windward Island,
Yep.
in the Guyana innings. No boundaries in this game.
And here's another one played up there. She's going to have to hurry. And she does. But I think Sinja just got hit as she was running through, hit on the forearm. I don't think it was deliberate. But they'll get the single in the end. So that completes a good over. Again from Lutchman, but she didn't get the wicket that she was craving, so she ends up with 3 overs that cost her 5 runs. 0 for 5, no wickets.
Yeah, no wickets, but she's certainly done her job, Mia Lutchman, in trying to restrict the Windward Islands below 41.
35 for 4 after 10.
Yeah, so just 6 required from the remaining 18 deliveries.
And for the first time in terms of the equations that they actually go on ahead of Guyana after 9. Guyana, well, for the second time because they were 32 for 1, and Guyana at that point would have been 29 for 1. Now after 10 overs they were 32 for 1 and they're 35 for 4.
They're really on their way here, the Windward Islands. Janelia Glasgow, she's done well, held the innings together.
So both of these teams, I suppose all the teams are staying at the Hilton, so they stay close together. Although the Hilton is a big place, but I'm sure they have their meals together. And so I'm glad to see the camaraderie, the sportsmanship that both teams are showing towards each other.
Yeah, game played in excellent spirits thus far.
Yes, there's one tickles. That's going to run close to the boundary. Well, it doesn't because it was going down the hill and then it just started to lose pace as it got caught up in the damp outfield. And they're able to get 2 runs. So she did get a little nibble on it, a little outside edge. So she goes to 17 now, Glasgow. And the score goes to 37 for 4. So just 4 away now.
I wonder though, Ruskin, if this is a case of 3 bowlers bowling 3 overs here for Guyana.
Well, they allowed 3. 3 at 3, and the other 2 could only bowl 2 maximum.
Okay.
So 3
Right.
bowlers can bowl 3. So I think we just saw Ritimaya bowl her 3. We saw Lutchman bowl her 3, and now Grimmond is going to complete her 3rd over.
Okay, right on cue from Grimmond.
That's a hit hard back past the bowler. She's going to have to hurry.
Oh!
And I think she might be out. No, just says the umpire. She was just in. Boy, to the naked eye, it looked like she was just fractionally short. But again, it's part of the whole thing. Look at how she's dipping the bat in the crease and not really driving it to. She's holding it in both hands and now putting it down and just maybe just breaking the line. at the last moment, but good fielding and a good return. Unfortunately, just not in the nick of time. But one more to the score. Glasgow goes to 18, and it's up to 38 now. So they're 3 away. And that's a beauty. That goes right through her. St. John knew nothing about that. And how that didn't hit the stump, I don't know. But it certainly went right through her.
Yeah, she seemed to have beaten St. John. All ends up really beaten for pace, you have to say.
She didn't even bring the bat down. That's what amazed me, because it's almost like she saw the line and then like she forgot to play at the ball, and the ball just missed everything. Driving again at one outside the off stump, missing. But this is good bowling. Excellent bowling again from Aureliana Grimmon.
Grimmon too has been quite impressive.
Very impressive. She doesn't have the wickets to show for it. Here she gets another outside edge, and it's going to run down to third man. They're going to get one, and one more to the score. That brings them even closer. Brings it to 39 now at the end of over number 11. So 39 for 4. 2 away.
Yeah, just 2 runs away from victory here at the Windward Islands. And Janelia Glasgow and Abini St. John really doing well. Yeah, this partnership probably worth just about 20 odd so far.
They've done well. They've done, and they haven't taken too many risks. The running between the wickets was a little bit dicey at the top, but they seem to have sorted that out now. And as a result of that, they're coasting at the moment.
Yeah.
But they still have to get it over the line. That's going to be critical here. Jamie Campbell looks like she's going to come in.
Yeah, Jamie Campbell, new bowler. Just 2 required for victory. Abini St. John on strike.
Short ball played in the air. This could be a catch. No, it's just over the head of the fielder. She probably didn't see it all that well and was way overhead. She didn't really react to it as well as they would like. But the scores are level now at 40 for 4. And St. John is not out on 8. But here is Glasgow now, the captain. She's 18 not out. She could win it here for her team. All they need is a single. She doesn't have to do anything rash. And Campbell is with her.
I think it'd be quite fitting that Glasgow.
And she's driving at one outside the off stump. Not out, says the umpire. And that would have been anticlimactic, wouldn't it?
Certainly would have been. But I think it's quite fitting that Janelia Glasgow is able to bring the game home by hitting the winning runs for the Windward Islands.
That's a game of cricket. She still has to get them over the line. She's right there now.
On the cusp of victory.
And she's trying to get, but it's a wide. How anticlimactic could that be? A wide, well, we've had so many of them in the game, so I suppose that is understandable. That this wide will take them over the line. So she remains not out on 18. And St. John is not out on 8 at the other end. And the Windward Islands getting to 41 for 4 in 12 overs. And 2 balls? 11.2. So 11.2 overs in the end. So congratulations to them. They're able to win this by 6 wickets and pick up points, maximum points in this encounter.
Yeah, excellent game of cricket played here by both teams. And the Guyana really fighting tooth and nail to the end. But it was the Windward Islands that came out on top. Janelia Glasgow with wickets and runs for her team. And they pick up maximum points in the opening game. How good it is to start off a tournament on a winning note.
Yeah, she had a wicket and 1 wicket for 9 runs with the ball, and then to be ending up on 18 not out to see her team over the line must be a very special feeling for her. And I think that probably would have been the thinking coming into this game, that the experience of the Windward Islands might have been the difference between the two teams, and it showed that we both in the field and now with the bat, because when they were in trouble, their two of the experienced players, and probably their most experienced player and their most talented player, came to the fore with the bat and saw them over the line. So if you had to give a player of the match award, she would have earned it on the field, both with her captaincy and with her bowling, and then with the bat in the end, to see them home and to get them to a solid victory, a 6-wicket victory in the end for the Windward Islands. So they start with a win. I'm sure they'll be very, very thrilled with that.
Yeah, definitely would be happy to get a victory here, the Windward Islands. But Guyana, I think they can take some positives from this game. Certainly bowled well. Nia Lutchman, Rielana Grimmond, of course Retty Meyer as well. So some positives to move forward with. Sure they'll go back to the drawing board and come again on the next game day.
But it's certainly, and again, we can't commend the ground staff enough for the effort, all their efforts in preparing the wicket. I don't think we saw too many risky situations for the fielding teams, the players on both teams. The ground, while it was wet, it was damp, it wasn't dangerous for them, and they were able to handle it very well in the end. So again, congratulations to both teams for making the effort and still pushing through to the conclusion. 13 overs, I think might have been a good blowout for them. In a lot of ways that might have been fitting for them, because had it been 30 overs, I suppose the inequality in the two teams might have been a bit wider. It might have shown up or manifest itself a little bit more. But in a shortened, truncated game like this, you saw the strengths of the Guyana team, their team spirit. They started the bowling very well. Their batting wasn't the best. They weren't able to get the ball off the square much. But again, they got to 40 and they looked like they were able to rally behind that and try to defend it. They gave it a good shot, and their little lack of experience. They had 2 or 3 good bowlers, but it's then the 4th and the 5th bowlers is where they came up short. And so I suppose they'll look at that and see how they could make adjustments. The Windwards, again, to their credit, they're probably their best players on West Indies duty right now. And they also had 2 players who are not here. They missed their flight, so they haven't arrived in the country just yet. We're hoping that they'll get here today. And so, all of those factors put together, and then this is the only game that was completed, so they have 2 points to march on with from here. We don't know what the weather will do or how the other games will pan out in the end, but they are sitting pretty right now with a win and a bunch of confidence going into the next game.
Yeah, most definitely. Always a good thing and a good way to start tournament.
Start with a win.
Yeah.
So that's the situation. Just to tell you again, the Windward Islands, they won the toss, asked Guyana to bat first and limited them to 40 for 2 in their 13 overs. And thanks in the main to unbeaten 12 from Tilia Madaramoto, the Guyanese were able to produce 40 from their 13. And then in reply, they had the Windward Islands in a spotted border at 13 for 4. But then Glasgow, the captain, Janilia Glasgow, she was 18 not out. Abini Saint Jean was not out on 8 in the end. And they were able to get to 41 for 4 to win by 6 wickets with just about 10 balls remaining in the contest. So that is the situation. On behalf of Kader and Anil, I'm Ruskin Mark, thanking you so much on behalf of the entire technical team. We hope you'll stay with us as we continue our coverage of the Cricket West Indies Rising Stars Women's Under-19 tournament right here on the West Indies Cricket Board channel and, of course, on 360 TV.